Hi. In this short little video, I'm going to go through the sort of basic principles of producing a Gantt chart within a spreadsheet. I've chosen Google Sheets simply because it's easier to use and I can video it in simplicity. But if you want to use Excel or any other system, then by all means, the principles are going to be much the same. So here I have an open spreadsheet, and what I'm going to try and do here is I'm going to make a top line up here, and in that I'm going to put down just number. I want a number for each individual action that is going to be done, so people can refer to it. In other words, I want to do that bit of plastering. Oh, which bit of plastering? Oh, item number 20 or 30, and they can find it quite easily. The next one is actually the activity. Now here I'm going to list what the activity is all about, and I want a nice big area for that. In fact, what I can do is I can pull that one down a little bit just to make it easier. So the activity is going to be all about what the item is going to be: lay bricks, dig a ditch, measure the site. It's an activity that needs time and costing, and sometimes equipment. So we'll go through this in a little while, but there's the first one. So that's the number of the activity. There's the activity itself. Now, what I'd like to do, and we can split this up. I mean, for short jobs, you can put these down to days, but I'm going to put down week. And we'll call it week 1. And then we'll call it week 2. And then so on, week 3. Week 4. Week 5, and so on, all the way up to the end of it. I mean, a good sized contract, 20 or 30 weeks easily. So we've now got an item in there. And what I'd like to do is to put down here, and the first one I'm thinking of, and your activity is going to be looking at a small development, a small house on a site. And there is no need for plans. It's all in your head. And it really is just a case of understanding the need for a Gantt chart to control the process of that construction. So what's the first thing we do? Well, we'll set up marking boards, so set up profile boards. So set up profile, can't spell. So set up profile boards. If you don't know what a profile board is, then you will learn this with Jim Gantt and Gaston. And so it's a method of outlining the profile of the building as a permanent marker to show where all the corners are and where all the walls will go. They're usually done in timber, and they're very easy to construct, but usually the surveyor will set these out. So the first setup is really set up profile boards. And I'm going to mark that as week 1. And what I can do now is I can go into the fill, and I'm going to choose a nice color for that because I want it in red. And there's week 1 already sorted. So the first week is going to be nothing else but setting out that building and getting it all ready. The next one is to dig foundations. And here we can say we're not going to start this till week 2 or 3. In fact, I think on a job like this, we're going to take 2 weeks to dig out a foundation to the right depth, and depends on what we're doing, the sort of construction we're doing, but hey ho, you know, this is just a simple footing. So I'm going to fill that, and I'm going to make that brown because I want it to be a different color. So easily now I can see the first week is going to be setting up the profile board for that particular plot. Now on another job where we're into virgin territory, I may actually put in front of this secure of site, and then also protection of equipment, in other words, a storage area, a compound, and anything else that are required to set that site up for the health and safety and for the running of the site. Here I'm looking at one particular plot on an existing construction site, so we're looking at only this. And the next one is to pour the concrete. Now, I can't do anything in the first week because there's nothing there to do. The second week, I know it's going to be full on with digging all the ditches, all the trenches, getting them to the right level, and making sure that everything is secure with shoring or anything else that's required. So I can't do anything on that until that week there. And that week, I know I'm going to be doing nothing else but pouring concrete. So again, I'm going to go into this and I'm going to choose green for concrete. Now, I've got time that I need to do. Why? Because concrete needs to set. So I'm going to put down concrete set time. I can't do anything with it. Concrete needs to set. Now, normally we're looking at 28 days to get the full strength of the concrete. But on a small development like this, and with maybe some fast-acting concrete, then we can look at maybe just a 2-week period. So I'm going to put down week 1 as nothing else but time. And I'm going to put down a nice little sort of purple color on there. Oops, don't want that. Let's reset, wrong button. And I'm going to use that color there. So I've got a week where there's nothing else that can be done other than setting up the concrete to firm up and harden. After the first week, we can get on that concrete and we can start now to lay the next bit, which is the footings. So lay footings. Again, I know I can get onto that site after the first week, and with that, I'm going to be looking at perhaps three weeks of laying the footings. Now, I like to use the color red again for my footings, so there I've got a nice little period. Now, when I was talking to you about this, I was going on about how we could look at what equipment and what materials would be needed for each week. So down the bottom here, I've been looking to put down, as I'm doing this, what equipment and what materials would be needed and the quantities. So I'll go back into another video, but just bear in mind, I need to understand not only what time is required, but also down the bottom here for each week, what materials I will need for that week so I can make sure that I pre-order with my supplier. Okay, that's enough from this. You need to now go on and set up all the activities that you can think of to complete the task that we've given you at the end. This is a simple house, nothing special. Use your own house as an example if you require. But all I need from you is a series of events that will go down to do as normal, domestic, detached house with a pitched roof. Okay? The task is yours.